Oh, look, I understand the need to try and get these games for the public and for everybody else and the TV people watching. I understand the need for us to try and play in slightly inclement weather to try and get a result. But I thought we overstepped that mark in this game, and I thought there was probably 4 or 5 overs we should have come off. I don't think we should have even bowled a ball, to be fair, but the umpires are the guys making those decisions out in the middle, and they seem to think it was fit to play, and I disagree with them, but there's not much I can do off the field. Look, I thought the rain had got so heavy at one stage, it was ridiculous. I mean, it was, for most of the afternoon, or most of the evening, night time, it was misty, sort of mizzle and stuff, but it got to the stage where we could actually hear it thumping on the rooftop in the dugout, and that, to me, that's no longer mizzle and drizzle. That's time to get off the field. And the field was wet. It was wet when we started. It was wet when South Africa fielded. So there were difficult conditions for both sides. But it just got more and more wet as we bowled. And, when your keeper's sliding, trying to move down the leg side, standing up to the spinners, it's too wet. I don't think the conditions were right to carry on playing. I know that Craig and Raza had a word with the umpire and said, basically just asked, what do you constitute as rain? Because we're getting quite wet here. I don't really know much else. I didn't ask them what the actual conversations were, but I think eventually Sean Williams said, just as he was about to start bowling, that he didn't think he could bowl. It's too wet. And they brought us off. Well, he's lying in the change room with a bunch of ice strapped to his ankle. So, I think it's a little too early to assess the real damage, but obviously we're not too happy about the fact that he's not in a great space at the moment for bowling at the moment. So we'll just see. We'll have to monitor it over the next day or so. Well, I just think it is that ability to stay calm and play your best shots. I thought watching Quinton play was a real lesson for our guys about how to stay calm and still be able to smack the ball around the place. I thought we thrashed at the ball too much up front and we didn't get anywhere near hitting them. So that's the biggest piece of learning for me today.
I thought it was tough conditions. We are here to play a World Cup, and obviously, we wanted to play. It seemed like both captains wanted to play at the start. Having a look at the game before, the field was fairly wet as well. There had been a little bit of rain around. But yeah, bottom line is players don't make those decisions. The officials are there to make those decisions, and that's what happened. I think we did. I think we bowled the ball that was quite wet as well. Look, we were in a very good position. So if you walk away from this game, you're going to be thinking, we were hard done by, whether the game should have taken place or not. If Zimbabwe were in our position, they would want to have carried on playing. We're not there to make the calls. That's what officials do, and officials made the call. We got to live with their decisions. Yeah, well, the positive is it's not a do or die game for us. We are still in control of what happens in this World Cup. So, yes, we haven't had a good history with rain, but I'd rather have it happen in the first game now, where we are still in control of what we can actually do. It's a tough group, and there's probably one game that is really going to be a game that we're going to have to win. But we'll see. It's still very, very early in the tournament. I'm just happy with the way that our intensity was very good today. So that's a positive I can take out of it. And also Quinny played some special cricket shots, which I think sends a bit of a message as well. No, there's not much we could do. Quinny, he's one of the most dangerous batters in the world when he plays like that. So it's nice from a coaching perspective to see him going out there and playing with that freedom. That is good. But I think we maximised what we could, to be fairly honest. I don't even know how many overs we bowled, but we got 15, I think 3 overs. That's pretty much going. And so there's no sort of regrets in our dressing room. We did what we could today. Unfortunately, we just didn't get, I'd call it maybe another 10 balls to finish the job off. Yeah, so we watched as coaches. We watched the game last night. There's a thrill of a game between India and Pakistan. So we got a good idea of what the venue is going to be like. A lot of our guys have played at Sydney before as well. So we sort of know what conditions we're going to get there. We know the boundary sizes as well. We've prepared for that accordingly. Quinny, in a competition like this, sometimes guys can tend to tense up a bit. So it's very good to see Quinny sees a moment where he actually went out and he just played that sort of free flowing game that we know that Quinton de Kock is if he comes off is very dangerous with. So happy for him to get a start like that, and hopefully he can continue with that confidence and that freedom, because that's when I think we get the best out of him. So good start for us. Unfortunately, not the result we wanted this evening, but there's a lot of good things that came off tonight as well.